and I'm not rich, that won't happen. If anything does happen, I'll let you know." Unquote. In reply to my supporter, I said, every knowledgeable critic of the Bible has experienced the same kind of problems you've had. People avoid us for several reasons. First, they're obviously afraid that we might bring up something that they have never heard and weaken their faith in the process. Discussions reek with insecurity and uncertainty. You never know what the other fellow might toss out. Second, biblicist have been indoctrinated to believe that critics of the Bible in general, and Jesus in particular, are satanic agents who are incapable of being honest, sincere, and truthful. Third, all religions are confidence schemes. And what does a con man fear more than anything else? Exposure. You can't sell a bogus product or a fraudulent philosophy when somebody's there to reveal the truth. Fourth, look at it from the apologist's perspective. Why spend time on someone who is clearly better informed than the average citizen and difficult to deceive when there are millions of victims out there who are willing to gobble up anything that can be made to look appealing? Most people operate far more on emotion than intellect, and for that reason are vulnerable and easy to manipulate. The tactics of religionists are no different from those of any other con artists. Fifth, religionists know that it's far easier to give an uninterrupted speech before a group of neutrals and sympathizers than before critics unwilling to fall in lockstep. Why spend time speaking to those with whom uninterrupted speech is doubtful when others are available? And lastly, knowing they are in the majority, religionists conclude that there's nothing in it for them to jeopardize their superiority in numbers. Why risk an uncertain encounter when you have more to lose than the gain? Ministers, priests, and rabbis are not anxious to debate knowledgeable critics of the Bible when they know that most of the observers will have a religious outlook before the encounter begins. Why debate before a sympathetic audience when you could very easily lose more people than you gain? My philosophy, on the other hand, is the exact opposite. Most religionists avoid those who want to discuss the accuracy of the Bible, while I won't spend much time with those who won't discuss the book's validity. I won't be lectured to by those who seek to give me a one-sided presentation with no cross-examination. If they want to discuss or debate, then I'm their man. But if all they want to do is preach, if all they want to do is give biased monologues like TV evangelists, forget it. My time is far too valuable for that. I have no intention of becoming a timid sponge absorbing whatever is thrown my way. Our final letter is from one of our subscribers in Dallas, Texas. He says, I monitor Fundy programs for contradictions. That means he watches fundamentalist TV shows. I've been studying end-time prophecy. Could you put me in touch with literature that points out the falseness of this prophecy? For instance, the beast, a world dictator, is allegedly going to make everyone worship him. That flies in the face of Christians, Jews, and Muslims who are not supposed to worship the beast. Yet it says everyone will worship the beast. This topic honestly upsets my stomach. It is begging for a rational debunking. I'm serious. This end-time prophecy business scares me, unquote. In response, I said, I'm not sure what you mean by putting you in touch with literature that points out the falseness of this prophecy. How could I provide you with literature to prove that something's not going to happen? That's not how you approach this kind of topic, this subject. Instead, you look at the Bible's prophetic track record. Anyone who does will notice that it's not prophetic, it's pathetic. Several of our prior programs were devoted to a comprehensive exposure of the Bible's prophetic failures. In light of what we revealed in those programs, why would you think that the Bible would be any more accurate in the future than it's been in the past? As a wise man said while discussing the Adam and Eve myth, if the Bible can't correctly tell you where you came from, how can it reliably tell you where you're going? My friend, I certainly wouldn't worry about the beast or any of that other nonsense in Revelations or Daniel. However, I would definitely be concerned about a whole host of social, environmental, and economic problems that are currently expanding throughout the world. Secondly, even the Bible's staunchest supporters have argued for centuries over the meaning of that which can be found in the books of Daniel and Revelation. One man's theory is as good as another, and precision is definitely lacking. Don't worry about something that is horribly confusing, terribly vague, and decidedly fanciful. Instead, focus upon that which is current, clear-cut, ominous, and obvious. Thirdly, judging from the general tenor of your letter, I can't help but feel that you put real stock in all of this apocalyptic poppycock. Don't be taken in by all that childish nonsense in the Bible, especially that which can be found near the end. Sleep tight. If the Bible were as accurate as you seem to fear, the world would be a whole lot different today. It had its chance and blew it many times centuries ago. In a nutshell, how could the Bible truly reflect and be in agreement with the outside world when it doesn't even agree with itself? That's one of the central messages of every TV program we've had so far. That completes our presentation. And please join us later for the 67th edition of Biblical Errancy Commentary, when we'll continue showing why the Bible is nothing more than the flawed composition of some fallible human beings. Thank you for listening.